Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the TexAgs High School Football Show, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Academy has all your high school football road trip needs this season. Get the right gear for the long season with free curbside pickup today at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
It is playoff time in Texas. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the TexAgs High School Football Show. I'm Ryan Brauninger, joined by Jason Howell, as always, as we have wrapped up the regular season in the Lone Star State. Now, everybody that's still playing is chasing a title and a trip to AT&T Stadium there in Arlington. Jason, I guess first thing we need to do very quickly, because we're going to pick every division, every 11-man division, a state champion. We've also got a couple of guys from here at TexAgs in the office that made their picks. So we had 4 people pick games, but Jason, myself, Richard Zane, and Dalton Hughes are a part of our back end team that helped this show go. They cut and edit this show along with Jamie Maury, and so had them drop their state championship picks as well. So we'll get through all that. So we got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of games to pick, and a lot of prognostications to make. So Jason, very quickly, what did you see last week?
I saw a barn burner, Melissa Lovejoy, and oh my goodness, it lived up to all the hype. Came down to a 2-point conversion, and Melissa took home the 36-35 win at Lovejoy for the district championship, and a nice cleaner route in the playoffs. So they got the optimal playoff route, but they had to score 15 fourth quarter points to come from behind. They went to the fourth quarter down 35-21, and man, it was an awesome night. You had Nigel Smith getting a couple big fourth quarter sacks. You had Parker Livingstone for Lovejoy went off 4 receptions for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns, averaged over 30 yards of reception. It was ridiculous. And then on the other side, you had Carson Maynard, who had 13 for 136 and 3 touchdowns. Really did a great job of going up and grabbing the ball. Big night for Melissa, and a huge win and a momentum boost as they go into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's a team that's a dark horse candidate there in DFW to make a really deep run upcoming playoffs. On Thursday night, drove over to Turner Stadium, saw Kingwood Park take on Port Arthur Memorial in a district championship matchup. Port Arthur Memorial ends up running away and really could have been worse than it was. But, man, they're so talented. They're so much fun to watch, and they're all young. Their quarterback, Davion Wilson, pretty under-recruited kid, but has been fantastic, was fantastic on the night. And then they got a receiver that moved in from Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, who we saw at camp over the summer, Jason, and Caleb Goody. He's starting to get some Power 5 interest out of nowhere. So he had no offers really going into his senior season. He has just been off the charts good for them. And if Port Arthur Memorial makes a run in 5A Division I, it'll probably be on the back of some really heroic performances by Caleb Goody at wide receiver. So Port Arthur Memorial pulls away. They win the district championship there. And then on Friday, went down to Rhodes Stadium, my first game covering at Rhodes there in Katy.
Okay.
Katy Tompkins takes on Katy Pato. Pato's in a win-and-you're-in situation, and they just could not muster enough on offense, although I thought A&M commit Damian Sanford was the best I've seen him all year. I think in the first drive, he had 4 tackles, a batted pass, and a forced fumble and a sack. So he was really good in the game, but Katy Tompkins showed their class and pulled away. Ashton Funk, 2024 offensive lineman at the time, was not an A&M commit. Now he was super good. We have him rated as a top 5 player in the state net class, and I don't think we're wrong there. He's super talented, super projectable, very intelligent kid. Checks all the boxes on the offensive line. So Coach McVay and his bunch propelled themselves into the playoffs, and they're another kind of a sneaky team once they get in there. Katy Tompkins can always get you on any kind of day. So that wrapped up our regular season. I don't think there's too much else to get to, Jason. Everybody's kind of looking forward to this playoff push and what's going to happen. So what do you say we start making some of these picks?
Absolutely, man. Well, I would like to hit a few of these games, man. And round 1, 6A, D1, you got Louisville hosting Allen. I mean, talk about a big first round matchup there. you've got Red Oak with facing off with Denton Ryan. That's a real scary game for Denton Ryan. And Red Oak is a red hot team that's coming in. It's at Red Oak, and they can put up a lot of points. So that it could be an early exit for a team like Ryan. Honestly, that district matchup, you've got Red Oak and Ryan. You've got Lake Belton at Burleson Centennial, who's a dangerous team. You got a interesting, matchup as far as the styles of play there. Both are capable of doing going far in the playoffs if they can make it through this round. I really like. There's a lot of really big matchups here. You got Madisonville LaGrange LaGrange on Thursday night in College Station.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, you got
the games that we're going to, I guess, before we pick these games. Well, and that's where I'll be Thursday night.
Okay.
Here in College Station, Madisonville against LaGrange, and then on Friday, I'm traveling up the road to Navasota to see Sealy take on a young, super talented Jasper team. And I think this is the most games that I've covered in a regular season. So I wanted to make sure, I'm in Houston and been in Austin and San Antonio just about every week. So I wanted to circle back to some of these small schools and some schools I haven't seen either in a while or at all this year in Jasper. I haven't seen them play at all. So while they're still in and while I can get my eyes on them, I wanted to make sure. So Madisonville versus LaGrange for me on Thursday. Silsbee versus Jasper on Friday. That
should be both awesome games. And I'll be at DeSoto Pflugerville Weiss on Thursday in DeSoto. And Pflugerville Weiss is a young team, a lot of talent, and they're a dangerous matchup there. But DeSoto always strong, and looking forward to seeing them again. And then on Friday night, I'm getting out to see Sock. I haven't seen them this year. Getting a close look at them against Mansfield Summit, in Kincaid Stadium should be fun to watch. South Oak Cliff has made short work of that district they're in, and really haven't faced much competition since that aggressive non-conference schedule they had. But should be fun to see what they can do round one of the playoffs. Maybe see Javon Thomas. We'll see.
All right, so let's start at the very bottom, 2A Division II, and let's work our way to the top.
All right.
2A Division II, my state champion, the Mart Panthers. I've got them beating Wellington in the final in AT&T Stadium. Dalton went with Mart. Richard went with Mart. What do you got?
I got Mart. I went with a different contender. Man, and there's a lot of them. Wellington, Archer City in that side of the bracket, and then you got Tenaha in there. And I went with Collinsville for that side of the bracket to match up with Mart, and but Mart's just too strong, man.
Yep. 2A Division I. What do you got?
I'm going Crawford versus Timpson in the final, and I'm going Timpson.
I got Timpson over Holly.
Okay.
In the final.
I tell you what, man, Cooper is a team to watch out there, man. They've been putting it on to people. If they can make it past Timpson, that if they can make it to and past Timpson, that may be a team to watch.
Well, those are some new names in that division, right? But Dalton and Richard both went with Shiner. Ooh. So Shiner is going to get Refugio in a rematch, and Refugio beat them by, I think, 11 points in the regular season, something like that. But they both picked Shiner to rebound and make it through that bracket. And I'm guessing they're going to say it's going to be the Dalton Brooks show all the way back to AT&T Stadium. That could certainly happen. No question.
Absolutely.
All right, 3A Division II. I'm going with a team that's been there, been on the cusp, and I think they finally break through in Gunter. I got them beating Newton in the final. Richard and Dalton. Richard took Gunter. Dalton took Canadian.
Okay. I can't argue with any of those picks. I went with Gunter. I had him going up against Lexington. I don't know.
Wow.
There's something about that. I mean, they put together a really good season. I like that Region 4 bracket for them. Dangerfield, Newton, and that Region 2, man, that is tough. Bells and
Yep.
Holiday are both. Holiday is dangerous. They've been beating a lot of teams, and they've been beating them bad. I got a feeling though, Gunter, man, they just they've been on a roll, and they're fun
What's
to
the name of
watch.
the slot wide receiver there? Is it
Oh, geez, you would ask me.
yeah, he's a good player. It was top of
Ethan
the state final last year.
is it Ethan Sloan? Is he still there?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, he can
So
go.
I think Gunter finally breaks through there in 3A Division 2. 3A Division 1, me, Richard, and Dalton both went chalk. We went Franklin. I got Franklin over Malakoff in the final.
Yeah. I think you're right. I have that matchup, and I have Franklin. I'm also keeping if you're looking for a sneaky underdog, if you can call him that, Brock, 6-4 on the year. But
I got a bigger one for you.
What's that?
Columbus.
Okay.
Watch for Columbus and sophomore quarterback Adam Schobel.
Go get
They
it.
were I don't know if I can't go against Franklin. They're too good. They're too deep. They're too athletic. But if somebody can cause them problems, watch out for Columbus, man. I think their offense scores points in bunches, and they're really good.
There you go. I love it.
All right, 4A Division 2, another big-time chalk win here. We all went Carthage. I got them beating Silsby in the final.
I do too. And man, it's harder than it looks. I mean, Carthage is going to have a tough road in Region 2. I don't know if, man, Aubrey, Liberty Islo, Pleasant Grove. I mean, you got Gilmer. And then you got Wichita Falls, Hershey, and the Fighting Dan Campbells and Glen Rose. I mean,
yeah.
you got some tough matchups coming down the pipe for Carthage, but that is a team to me that they're probably pretty upset about how last year played off. I'm sure that Coach Surratt hasn't let them forget about it.
Yeah, you don't pick against Carthage in the playoffs. I mean, if you're a smart man, you don't, right?
Exactly.
All right, what do you got for a Division 1? This is an interesting one.
Yeah.
All three of us picked somebody different. Who do you got?
I went my championship matchup, Stephenville, Tyler Chapel Hill, and I went Stephenville. And again, Region 2 is a problem for me. And there's about 5 teams. Look, there's like 4 teams in Region 2 I think could come out, and Region 3 is just as strong. But I went with Stephenville to get the win over China Spring to advance, and Chapel Hill. I love that young talent they got there, man.
All right, so Dalton went Chapel Hill state champion.
Okay.
Richard went Bernie state champion.
Okay.
I went, here's my biggest upset of my entire picks here. Lumberton over China Spring.
You've been singing their praises, man.
Man, Coach Reyes, they score a ton of points. We know about Brock Jackson, Avery Yarborough on defense. And they play super up tempo. You're gonna have to score with them. And it's gonna be a track meet when you play Lumberton. And I think with their quarterback, man, they just it's an upset, I know, but like there's a path there for them to do it. And I had to go back to Southeast Texas and pick one state champion from down there. So I went with Coach Reyes and the Lumberton Raiders. 5A Division 2. What do you got, 5A Division 2?
I'm going Argyle, and I pick them to win over Liberty Hill. And again, that Region 3 is going to be tough for me. And I keep getting hung up in Region 2. Region 2's got, Jesus. Whoever makes it out of Region 2 is going to be so beat up between Midlothian Heritage, Sock, Lovejoy, Melissa. Ennis, yep. I think is a 500 record, but they only lost 1 in a tough district. I mean, there's so many. And then Region 3, that's your guys, man. You're fighting Buffaloes. So
and so Dalton went to Fort Bend Marshall.
Yeah.
Richard went to Sock.
Yeah.
I chose this matchup because I want to see it.
Yeah.
I got Fort Bend Marshall versus Sock in the final. Houston versus Dallas. I think that'd be so cool. I picked Fort Bend Marshall. I didn't know where I was going to be at on Fort Bend Marshall until I saw him play live. The new quarterback, I think he does enough with his legs and with his arm, like enough of a dual threat to get them back to AT&T Stadium. And they are super good on defense. That defensive line with Trent Thomas and Zach Chapman, Jordan Sample at linebacker, they are extremely, extremely good on defense. So I got Fort Bend Marshall.
And you saw Montgomery Lake Creek. I mean, and Austin LBJ also in Region 3, man. Those are going to be some tough matchups there. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch that one shake out.
Lake Creek is a sleeper there. And I can't say sleeper because they've been in the top 10 all year.
And they're 10-0 or whatever.
Yeah, Kate Tessier and Ty Byers, and they got a good roster. I just don't know if they're deep enough to beat a team like Fort Bend Marshall. All right, moving on. 5A Division I, Richard and Dalton went Aledo. What you got, Jason?
Yeah, D1. I went Longview. Over Smithson Valley.
Wow.
I'll be honest, I was a bit my confidence level really and my confidence level is it's shaky, but Longview has been handling some business all year long, and they played in probably the toughest district you'll find out there. No one's really stayed up with them all year long. I really love what they bring to the table, and it's hard to bet against Coach King, man. He knows what he's doing.
Well, 5A Division I and Region 3 is like the regions are different this year, right? The realignment.
Yeah.
So you got Port Arthur Memorial in Region 2 where they're going to have, I think, McKinney North in the first round.
Yeah.
Coming down Port Arthur, and then their round 2 game will be another DFW team, potentially coming down to Port Arthur. So, and then Region 3, which would typically have Southeast Texas, now goes west to Smithson Valley.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting how the realignment is going to shape this. And I've got Longview as my state champion over a little bit of a surprise here.
Okay.
The Fulshire Chargers.
Okay.
Fulshire has been scoring points like crazy. Coach Caduti came over from Tomball, where he had that offense rolling. He head coach now at Fulshire. And that's a community that I think about 5 or 6 years ago, Jason, they were like a 2A Division I school.
Yeah.
Now they're at 5A Division I school. And if you don't know where it is, it's kind of between Richmond, Katy.
Yeah.
Like that whole south or west, the southwest Houston area. All that it really from Richmond Foster, there's a new Richmond High, like Lamar Consolidated, that whole area is just growing like crazy. And that's where Fulshire popped out of. And I got them in Region 3, winning the region over Smithson Valley. And I think that they go to the final and they take on Longview and fall there to the Lobos. But what an incredible story that would be for a new school.
I'll be watching Angleton in that region too. They've done some work this year, it looks like.
6A Division II, and I can't believe we have any. Dalton picked a different. I think this one's the easiest one, and I think Denton Geyer is the best team in the state of Texas. That's what I think. Regardless of class, I think they're the best.
I've said it. I said it a few weeks ago, last week, whenever. But yeah, Geyer's my pick, my favorite of all the DFW area teams to claim a title, and I stand by that. I have them beating Katy in the championship game. But
same here.
Yeah, that's my go-to right there.
Richard picked Geyer, Dalton picked DeSoto.
Okay, let's see.
All right, the big boys, 6A Division I. Dalton picked Duncanville. Richard picked Austin Westlake. I picked Atascocita. Who do you pick?
Well, I'm a little scared now. It sounds like I'm going to be siding with the Zaniac with Austin Westlake. That team, I don't know. It just seems like that machine just keeps on rolling, and That region 4 though is going to be tougher than it's been in a long time. And
Dripping Spring.
You got Cibolo Steel. Shoot,
Cibolo,
man,
that's right.
Those first few matchup, that first round, you got Cibolo Steel, San Antonio Johnson. You got San Antonio Reagan, New Braunfels. You got some matchups there, man. Yeah, that's going to be fun to watch how that all shakes out. Those San Antonio area schools are not to be slept on this year, but I like Westlake. North Shore seems a little bit down, and Atascocita's already had trouble with them, so I went with Westlake over Duncanville.
Yeah, I got Atascocita over Duncanville. I said Dripping Springs. I think Dripping Springs is in Region 4 and 6AD2.
They are, and that's another one with Vandergrift, Dripping Springs, and Brandeis. So,
absolutely. All right. Well, Jason, we're playing to stay alive. We'll be back, and we'll keep doing these week to week. We'll be covering games all the way up to AT&T Stadium. We'll also do a state championship preview that week right there before Christmas, early signing day. Hopefully we can squeeze in another one of these if we talk about state championships. But we'll be here throughout the duration of the playoffs for the TexAgs High School Football Show. For Jason Howell, I'm Ryan Brauninger. Thanks for tuning in.